Wednesday. It is November the 9th. You guys should be reading Ezekiel chapter 37, 38, 39, as well as Psalm 87 and John chapter 13. Have you ever been around somebody, a leader or someone else in your life that you thought, man, this is a really strange way of doing it. I've never seen a leader do something like this before. I thought of a time when I was working for Chick-fil-A. I used to be a manager at Chick-fil-A. And in 2011, I was working at Chick-fil-A when the Joplin tornado came through. I mean, I wasn't working that day because if you remember the day, it was a Sunday, so Chick-fil-A was closed. But I was working for Chick-fil-A stores at that time. And one of the coolest things I remember of a story of I've never seen a leader do something like this before was at Chick-fil-A. Joplin got hit by a huge, massive EF5 tornado that took out the town. Like, if you lived around the Joplin area or read the news in 2011, you would know. It was terrible. About a third of the town just gone. And during that time, something really cool happened. Corporate Chick-fil-A reached out to our local stores and said, hey, we just want you to make sure all your staff is taken care of because they lost one of their stores. And we will pay their salary till everything is fixed. Thing number 2, we want you just to give out as many Chick-fil-A sandwiches as you possibly can. Feed people who are working. Feed people who are trying to help us recover. Just take care of people and we will take care of paying you back for this. And I thought this was really neat. Not only were they taking care of their employees in this tiny town of Joplin, and were they taking care of the volunteers who had come to clean it up, that was a lot of money out of their pockets as corporate. But they didn't stop there. Well, this other cool thing happened. The CEO at the time was named as Dan Cathy. He was the son of Truett Cathy, who started Chick-fil-A. Dan and an executive team of people flew out from Atlanta, Georgia to Joplin, Missouri, and they did it for one sole purpose. They wanted to check in on us. And I remember him walking into the store with this executive team, and he said, all of you are on break right now, a paid break. I'm going to take you away. And he took us away, all of our management and all the management of the other store, and he left the executive team there. He said, they're going to cook for you. They're going to do all the stuff for you. They're going to take care of the store so you can rest. And we spent a couple hours with Dan Cathy praying. He prayed over us. It was a cool thing to be a part of an organization that believed in the power of Jesus. And he just wanted us to rest and say that we weren't alone. He wanted to tell us that he was on our side, even though they were from a different city, that we belong to this family. He led in such a way that struck me so powerfully, I still have not forgot it to this day. He led differently because of Jesus. And I can't help but think of that story when I think of what we read in John chapter 13 today. If you read it, what you will find, if you haven't read it, I'm going to give you a spoiler. What you will read is Jesus is about to die. It's the Passover celebration, and he begins to wash the disciples' feet. This was something that you read and we hear about it all the time. It's servant leadership. This was not something they did back then. The lowest of low servants did this, not the master of the universe. Not the master they've committed their lives to, the teacher. They would pay someone else to do it. It was a beneath them job. And Jesus took this beneath them job and he washed all of their feet. He did something powerful in this moment. He was showing them that leadership in his kingdom is different. And I don't just mean leaders as pastors. I mean leaders in general. When you belong to the kingdom of God, you are called into leadership. You surrendered your life to Jesus and he sent you out to make more disciples. You are leading people to the throne of God. You lead differently. Men and women watching this video right now. In your workplaces, you lead differently. And if you're not, you need to be. You need to be leading like Jesus. In your homes, you lead differently. In your marriages, you lead differently. In the lives of your neighbors, you lead differently. I think you catch where I'm going with this. If you're maybe in school again, you lead differently. I don't care where you find yourself. We lead like Jesus. We serve people. We take care of them. And it's not so people can pat us on the back and say, wow, what a wonderful leader that person is. It's all because we want to be able to point to Jesus. He set an example for us of how he wanted us to lead and serve the world. And as believers, we get to do the same and follow in his footsteps. So my challenge to you today Wherever you find yourself, whether you're leading at home, whether you're leading somewhere, I want to challenge you to lead like Jesus today. If you've never done that before and you need help, message us. Shoot us a message or email us. You can email me, Keenan@cccj.church. I don't care. Wherever you find yourself, we want to help you lead like Jesus, letting your lives be transformed and challenged and changed by him. Lead differently for his kingdom. Until we see you tomorrow, church, you are sent.